It's not big enough. Good morning, good morning. Sorry guys, my kids broke my tripod, so I'm just trying to organise myself a stand here. Happy Tuesday. All right. Work. Oh, the dogs are in. Hello. Oh, should we get popsicle? I know we just got comfortable. Let's get popsicle. Let's do it. I'm here. My friend just replied to a story I made this morning. My daughter was saying that it's cold. It's 21 degrees here. This was at 9 o'clock this morning. It's 21 degrees at 9 o'clock in this morning, and my daughter thinks it's cold. One of my friends just messaged saying, hi, it's, she's dying of the cold. It's like 23 degrees now. Good morning, Anthony. Well, I've got my glasses on. Hello, how are you? I was just saying, my daughter's saying it's cold today, and it's like 23 degrees. It was 21 degrees at 9 a.m. when she was saying it was cold. Você mora onde? No Brasil. Goiás. Goiás até agora, e mais tarde, Bahia. Why are you nervous, Anthony? I'm very excited to move to Bahia. Em agosto. Vai lá. Na praia. Minas Gerais. I haven't been there. I've heard a lot about it. I get a lot of people on my live from Minas Gerais. Over 300k down. Hi, Anna Clara. Hello. Hey, Persian kittens. Oh, it's so nice to have some familiar faces on today. Yesterday, none of my normal people came on. I was like, where is everybody at? So good to see you all. I want to talk a little bit today about the choices that we make that affect our mood, that affect our reality. My husband hasn't spoken to me all morning because he's upset because the dogs weed inside last night. So normally we take it in turns to see who will wake up early with the kids, and whoever wakes up early with the kids needs to let the dogs out first thing in the morning, otherwise they wee. So I don't know if he forgot or he just didn't get to it yet, but I woke up at like 7:30 and the dogs had like clearly just weed. It was still warm, and so it sent him into a foul mood. This was so like 4 hours ago, right? 4 hours ago, the dogs had a wee inside. My husband is still really, really angry about it. which of course is a choice that he's made to be angry about it. Now we have a bit of a running thing with the dogs. He thinks they don't like them. He thinks they only like me. They are on me as usual. So yeah, we have a bit of a running thing with the dogs, but honestly I'm choosing not to let things outside of my control bother me. I can't control if he lets the dogs out in the morning. I can't control if they wee. All I can do is clean it up and carry on. But this is very applicable for multiple different things in your life. Like, you choose how you react to something. And you choose if you're going to let that ruin the whole of your day, or if you're just going to get over it and carry on. So I did a video before about if you had, I've got to try and remember the numbers now because it was a while ago I made the video. I think it was, if you had 46,000, I really don't want to get the calculator, but anyway, it's something like 46,000. If you had $46,000 in your bank account and somebody stole $10, would you give them the rest of the money? Would you be like, well, you stole $10 from me, here you go, have the rest of the 40,000, right? Or would you just be like, okay, they stole $10, I've still got $39,990 to my name, and just be happy that you've got the rest of the money? And you can think of a similar thing. So I can't remember the exact number because it's the number of seconds in a day. If somebody takes 10 seconds of your time, would you give them the rest of the 24 hours in your day to teach them a lesson? No, of course not. You wouldn't give them the rest of the $40,000. You wouldn't give them the rest of your day. But we do this all the time. We do this all the time. When somebody makes one small remark to us, we take it the wrong way and then spend the rest of our day pissed off about that small remark that somebody made to us. Why are you giving them the rest of your day? You just got back from Brazil last Monday. Did you have a fun trip? Are you sad to not be here anymore? Thank you, William. Yes, it is really hot here. I was just saying my daughter was complaining that it was cold this morning. It was 21 degrees and she was saying it's cold. And I was like, you are English. Don't you be saying 21 degrees is cold. That's ridiculous. Made a story about it on my Instagram. I haven't seen it yet, Anthony. I think I've got 3 videos to watch from you. I hadn't realised that 2 were there because I went into the one you sent me today to watch it this morning, and it wouldn't load. We had internet problems this morning, so I haven't watched it yet, but then I saw there were 2 from you I hadn't seen yet. So I need to go back and watch them. But yes, so I made a video about this morning because this is a really important point for me with my kids, because I don't want my kids, and I see it a lot in my daughter. My daughter is very much like my husband. One small thing will just throw her off. Somebody says something to her, she doesn't get something that she wants, or one time she gave a drawing to her cousin that she had made, and her cousin ripped it in half, and she was sad about it for days and days and days. So I really want to instill in them and teach them this skill of choosing what you react to and choosing how you react to it, and not allowing your external circumstances, something somebody says, something somebody does, to change the way you feel, and to make you question yourself. So we have this practice that we do with her when she asks us if she did a good job on her homework, or if she did a good job with a drawing, or if she did a good job with her makeup, or whatever it is. And we say to her, well, what do you think? Do you think you did a good job? And then we let her decide if she did a good job or not, rather than turning to us for validation. Like, rather than needing somebody external, somebody else to tell her, yeah, you did a good job. She can rely on herself to know and to decide if she did a good job, and then she can feel however she wants to feel about that. And I think, like, because she's under 5, that we still have this opportunity to teach her emotional intelligence skills. And my son's only 2. So to teach them emotional intelligence skills from a young age so that they grow up with emotional intelligence. They don't have to learn it as an adult, because like what we do, we learn emotional intelligence as an adult when we become aware of it, and we're kind of already fucked by then. We've got to undo so much programming, undo so many stories, so many limiting beliefs, in order to just get to 0 to then learn the skills of emotional intelligence. I want my kids to have that from the time they're kids. So if you're here and you're watching and you don't know what emotional intelligence is, or you don't practice emotional intelligence, do it straight away. Like, the best time to start is when you're a kid, and the second best time to start is today. Because these skills, like, it's just one skill, right? Emotional intelligence basically comes down to one skill that you just practice over and over again. And when you nail that skill, you're set. You can create your reality. You can find happiness and peace and joy whenever you want. And you can create your reality to be whatever you want it to be. So here's an example from my life, a recent example. For the past 2 years, more now, 2 years in April, since I arrived in Brazil, I haven't been able to work. Initially, I didn't have a visa to work. I was just supposed to be here on holiday. And then I couldn't work because I couldn't speak Portuguese. And I also didn't really want to go out and work and exchange my time for money. The wages here in Brazil are very low. If there's any Brazilians here on the stream, you'll know that the wages in Brazil, when you exchange your time for money, are very, very low. Like, not even enough to pay my rent, basically. My husband used to work as a personal trainer at the gym. He worked 6 days a week, every week, wasn't allowed days off. And he earned, it was the equivalent of about $100, $92 a month to work 6 days a week. Like, it didn't even pay one of my kids' school fees to work 6 days a week. So I didn't want to exchange my time for money. That didn't make sense for me. I wanted to earn money in a way that was fun for me. And so I set this intention that that's what I would do. I would find a way to earn money doing something that felt good to me, that meant that I could travel, that meant that I could meet people, that meant that I could stay home with my kids, that meant that I could just work a couple of hours a day and have the rest of the day to myself. And I had all of these like a wish list for how I wanted to earn money, right? These are all the things I would love to include in my dream future career. And for 2 years, I tried to do that, right? So for the first year, probably, I did that by trying to think about it, by trying to figure it out. Okay, let's sit down and brainstorm and try and figure out how I can earn a living with all these criteria. And it was really hard. I fell for some courses on TikTok where they say, you know, make 10k in a month working only 2 hours a week. And that, I was like, from your phone, I'd be like, oh wow, that sounds perfect. I tried a few of those and they didn't work for me. They didn't work for me because they weren't my path, right? They weren't my path. They were those, it may have worked for them. This is what I did to earn 10k a month. Okay, it worked for you. It didn't work for me. And so instead, I started focusing just on things that felt good, on doing things that felt good. So I started doing these live streams. I started coaching people. I started helping people to learn emotional intelligence. I started helping people to control their emotions. I started helping people to create their realities. And that felt really good to me. That felt really good to me. I was helping people. I was constantly getting feedback like, you've changed my life. You have improved my life. Like, thank you so much for what you've done. Like, you've completely changed my perception about this problem that I've had for years. I started getting feedback like this, and it felt good. It felt good. Now, if I hadn't had emotional intelligence, I would have allowed the external circumstances to alter how I felt about it, because I wasn't yet making money, right? I needed to make money to pay bills, to live, to survive. And I was focused on doing things that felt good to me, and on following my intuition after trying to think my way out of it with logic. Didn't work for a year. So I just kept doing the things that felt good. And multiple people said to me, hey, you need to get a proper job. You need money, like you need to get a proper job. People said to me, you're fucking up your kids. You're teaching them that it's okay for both parents to be home all day and for nobody to work. People said to me that I was a bad parent, that I was fucking up my kids. People said to me I was a bad parent because I chose to work with doing what felt good, even though it wasn't making money, over doing something that felt bad just to make money. Now, bear in mind, this is what I teach, right? I teach emotional intelligence, and I teach not allowing shit like that to change my reality. So I didn't. I stuck with it. And I'm not going to say it was easy. I don't know how I did it. I just did it. It was hard, right? I just stuck to it, even though I wasn't seeing the money come in yet, even though people all around me were telling me that I was crazy, that I was weird, that I was a bad parent, that I was irresponsible. My coach told me I was irresponsible. And I was like, I'm just going to keep following my intuition, keep doing what feels good, and teach my kids that it's okay if other people think you're crazy. It's okay if other people think you're weird, because the other people, they want me to do something that doesn't feel good to me just to make money, just to make them feel more comfortable about what I do. Like, what? If I didn't have emotional intelligence, I probably would have caved, but I didn't. I have emotional intelligence. I chose my reality. I chose what to believe. I chose what to listen to out of what other people were telling me. And I chose to keep doing the things that made me feel good. And I'm still doing those things. And everything fell into place from doing that. Everything fell into place. So in 2 months, I'm moving to Bahia. I'm moving to the beach. I will be managing and operating my dream retreat. So I'm going there to, I wanted to build my own retreat. However, I don't have to do that. The universe literally gave me a retreat. Some friends of ours came to us. They own a posada, a hotel, motel, in the area where I wanted to go, and they said, hey, we don't want to do this anymore. We want to take a year off to go traveling. Do you want to come do your retreats here and just manage the place, do whatever you want with it, like Airbnb it? Somebody just gave me the thing I had been wanting this whole time. Because when I was trying to figure out the best career for me, and I was trying to earn money online, and I was thinking it all through, I couldn't think of anything that already existed that would allow me to do all of these things I wanted, right? To travel, to meet new people, to constantly learn, to work 2 hours a day, to stay home with my kids, and to make really good money. And then I came up with it. My intuition, during meditation, I saw a vision, I saw my retreat, I saw what I needed to do, I saw that this was the perfect way to tie in all of those wants and all of those dreams. And not only that, my husband as well. My husband has always wanted to buy land in Caraíva and have some rooms and Airbnb them. So this was both of our dreams together. And it just fell into place because I just kept doing what feels good. That is the power that emotional intelligence has. It allows you to manifest your dream life because it allows you to choose to keep your vibration high so that you can attract to you the things that you want, because you're constantly in an elevated state of happiness, of positivity, of expecting things to work out, of knowing. Like I was saying, for 2 years I was struggling with money. People were telling me that I was crazy, and I just kept doing what felt good. And I stayed in a positive state. I stayed in a high vibration state, and all the things that I wanted came to me. I'm now earning more money than I need, doing something that I enjoy, working 2 hours a day, meeting new people, and on top of it, I get to go run my retreat. So the 2 hours a day that I'm working at the moment will cover all of my bills. Will cover the rent for the posada, will cover the maintenance for the posada, will cover the staff for the posada. I don't need to do any more work. All the extra money that we make from people coming to stay at the posada is just ours. Like, I couldn't have planned it better. If I had tried to think about it, I couldn't have thought about it better than this. When I thought about it, I thought, go buy land, build a retreat, need an investor, need a pitch deck, need a business plan, need a business partner, need to create financials, need all of this stuff. I didn't need any of that stuff. I didn't need any of that stuff. It just landed in my lap. A friend came over to say hi before going back to Caraíba. He was in town for a couple of nights. He came over and he was like, by the way, we're a bit over running the hotel. Do you want it? Like, it's just magical. And it all comes down to emotional intelligence. It all comes down to just controlling, like having the ability to control your reaction to external circumstances. Lewis, yeah, I'm living my dream. Like, you guys that have been watching my lives for some time, you've seen me go through this whole journey. Because when I started doing these lives, I had no money, I had no income. Actually, no, I did have an income. I was working a job that I hated. I only did it for about 4 or 5 months in the end, and I hated it, and I was complaining a lot, and I was covering my bills, but like I was just hating it, so I was complaining. So I quit with no plan B, I quit with no options, I quit with no savings. You guys saw it all. Like, you've been with me on this journey, and that's what I love about it, because I'm teaching you guys these skills, and I'm putting these skills into practice myself, and I'm literally showing you every single day what's happening in my life, how it works, because I started out with nothing, nowhere to live, no visa, no money, like no plate, no home. Like, we were homeless, I guess. We had no home. We were just sleeping on people's couches and stuff. And no income and no way of making money, because I didn't have a visa. I couldn't speak the language 2 years ago. And now everything is just the dream. Right, sorry, that was a really long chat. So let's have a little look at these comments. In Brazil, we call you gringa. We love when people from another country come visit our country. Yeah, my husband said I should change the name on my other TikTok channel to like gringa in Brazil, but there's lots of accounts with gringa in, so I'm keeping it as Brit in Brazil. But yeah, I don't mind the gringa label. In Brazil, we won't think you're crazy to make money. You will always be welcome to our country. Oh, thank you. I have found that as well, Danielle, that Brazilians are so welcoming, that Brazilians are so pleased to have me here. Você está muito animado, eu falo português também. Eu amei isso. Amei. Oh my gosh. Norwegian? Where do you live, Danielle? Lewis, did she adapt well to Brazilian education? Yes, she loved it. So my daughter speaks English and Portuguese fluently. So for her, it's no problem. She went to daycare when she was 1 in Australia for a year, but other than that, she's only ever been to school here, so she didn't really need to adapt. Danielle, where in Bahia? I'm moving to Bahia. I'm moving to Caraíba in August. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I love that there's people from Bahia on here. I'm coming to see you. Ela disse antes que tá indo pra Bahia. See, Luis. See. Hi, I'm from Brazil City, Sao Paulo. I didn't know there was somewhere called Brazil City. That's cool. Did you earn good in your old job? So, Lewis, I used to work in finance. And yes, I earned good money in finance. I worked in finance for 15 years. I earned really good money. It was very boring. I did not enjoy it. It was very boring. So when I left Australia, I stopped working in finance. I left my finance job when I left Australia 3 years ago. Something like that. No, 2.5. 2.5 years ago is when I stopped working in finance. So since then, I had savings. When we left, I had savings. But because my husband's visa, it was supposed to take 2 weeks to approve. It took 6 months and did not get approved. And during that 6 months, we were stuck in Brazil. We were supposed to be moving to the UK. All of our stuff was in the UK. The dogs were in the UK. We had everything in the UK. But we couldn't go there because my husband didn't have the visa yet. So we got stuck in Brazil. We had to wait here for 6 months. And in that 6 months, we spent all of our savings because we thought as soon as the visa gets approved, we go to the UK, we get jobs, we start again, we'll be fine. And then the visa was denied. So that's why we were stuck in Brazil with nowhere to live, no money and no savings. Just had to start again, right? Just from scratch with nothing. So I did earn good money in my old job. I did live myself a nice life with lots of travel, lots of nice things. I've got lots of designer clothes and designer bags. I used to own restaurants as well. So when I owned restaurants, we used to turn over like 5 million a year. And I had a Porsche and I have a Chanel bag, and I bought a lot of really expensive stuff when I had my restaurants. I was rich, right? I was rich. I was making thousands of dollars a day. And then I lost it all and had to start again from scratch, from zero. But I saw something the other day on TikTok. Oh my gosh, this video was amazing. If you guys have ever wondered what your purpose is, if you guys have ever wondered why you're here on earth, how you can live your best life, this video blew my mind. Because I teach people how to find their purpose using their intuition. But using your intuition, it can be a slow process, right? Because your intuition doesn't always give you answers when you want them. If you want that answer right now to what is your purpose in life, let me know in the chat. I'm going to tell you. It will give you an answer straight away. Let me know in the chat if you want to know what your purpose is in life. It's crazy. Where are you from? I'm from the UK. And now I live in Goiás, and soon I will live in Bahia. Must be easy getting Brazil visa compared to USA visa, huh? So for me, I can get any... I don't see borders. I choose not to buy into that shit. I can live anywhere I want. Now, I get that... So we couldn't move to the UK, right? Because my husband couldn't get a visa. I'm glad that happened. I didn't really want to move back to the UK. We just didn't want to move to Brazil while Bolsonaro was in power, because everything was getting fucked up. So we kind of said if Bolsonaro wasn't in power, we would move to Brazil. So my intuition obviously wanted me in Brazil, not in the UK. And that's fine. But for me, I have 2 passports. So I have British and Australian. With my Australian passport, I can get a USA visa. I can work in any finance job in the USA and get a visa called an E3 visa, no problem. I just apply for the job like a normal American citizen, get the job, get the visa. So I can get a job and a visa really easily for the USA. For Brazil, I had to marry a Brazilian. And then they gave me a 9-year visa. But for me, it's all easy. You do what needs to be done, you get the visa. With my husband, that's not the case. He has struggled to get visas. He's had 3 USA visas denied, maybe 4 actually now, and a UK visa denied. So that has a knock-on effect to me, because I really want to move to the US and I can get a visa to do so. It's harder for him to get a visa. So I live in this world where I don't see borders. I don't see visas as a problem. I see visas as easy. It's fill out a form, get the visa, whatever. My husband sees visas as impossible to get. And so between us, we navigate that. We navigate that difference in beliefs. Right now we're in Brazil. And the next country we move to will be the USA. And it's all going to work out fine. I don't know how yet, but it is. So, you live in Camaçari. Where is that? What's in Bahia? Is it on the beach? I'm moving to Caraíva. Is it close? If it's close, you've got to come see me. You really look like Princess Leonor from Spain. Hi, Laura. Do I? I will need to Google her after. I don't know what she looks like. The beaches here are so cool. The weather is always hot as we like, Danielle. I love the hot weather. Somebody, one of my friends from Australia messaged me this morning. She said, we are 1 day into winter. She messaged me the other day saying, we are 1 day into winter and I'm already over the cold. Because Australia gets cold in the winter. I was like, you've got no complaints from me. It's the same temperature all year round, pretty much. Sometimes there's a breeze, sometimes there's rain, but it's always hot, just how I like it. British people treat the Brazilians good. I mean, it depends what your definition of good is. Like, I don't know. It also depends where in England. So in the north of England, they're not so used to having people from overseas go there because most people go to London. So you may get a different kind of reception in the north of England than you would in the south of England. In the south of England, in London particularly, there's lots of people from lots of countries. It's very multicultural. There are places you can go where it's hard to spot an English person. And so Brazilians, I would imagine, would go there and just feel like they're just like everybody else. They just get treated the same as everybody else because everybody's from somewhere in London. Whereas in the north, it would be a thing, right? Like you would be Brazilian, you would be different. And some people would love that. Some people would like want to learn all about you, want to be your best friend. Other people would be like, oh, they're different. I don't know about that. So there's no one answer to that question. If British people treat Brazilians good, there's no one answer. Most do, I hope. Some don't, I'm sure. Yeah, it is what it is. I want to know what my purpose is. Sometimes we have knowledge, but we do not have the mindset. Yes, Danielle, oh my God, that is so true. Okay, so you want to know what your purpose is. Maddie, I'm so glad you're here. Hi! I'm just about to divulge the contents of a TikTok video that I saw yesterday that just blew my mind. Maddie, you are just in time. So, this is how you find your purpose. The biggest trauma that you have been through in your life, the biggest trauma, the deepest, darkest place that you've ever been in your whole life, your purpose, I've got goosebumps. I've literally got goosebumps. If Isaac was here, he would be freaking out right now. Your purpose is to be the person you needed to be in that time of darkness. I'm just letting it sink in for a second. The biggest darkness you have been through in your life, your purpose is to be the person you needed in that time. It feels right, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel right? So Maddie, what's yours? Danielle, what's yours? Tell me. because mine is the past 2 years. Like, I was thinking about it the other day, and I've been through some traumatic events in my life. Like, my father passed away on, like, all of a sudden on my birthday while I was starting a new job and had just moved to London. Like, that was a lot, right? I've had times where when I've been traveling, where I've been alone, where I've gotten myself into dangerous situations because of my habit of saying yes to everything. Like parents' divorce, like people in my life dying. Like, I've been through trauma, right? What people label as trauma. But none of those things really had a huge life-stopping crisis moment on my life, like, I got through them all. Like, it was tough and I needed help and I cried and all this stuff, but I got through them fine. But this past 2 years of literally just flapping around, not knowing what to do, having a whole family to look after, a husband, 2 kids, 2 dogs, being in a country where I can't speak the language, not having friends, not having a place to live, not having a visa to work, not having any income, like, all of this that I've been through in the past 2 years has been my trauma that I lived through, that I needed advice on getting through, and that I'm now that person that I needed back then, teaching you how to improve your emotional intelligence so that you can get through any situation. Because that's what I needed at that time. That's what I needed to get through it, is a fucking solid mindset, right? A solid mindset of, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Just keep going. It's going to be okay. That's what I needed in that time of all that shit going wrong. And so that's what I am now for others. So mine's personal, but I did try to unalive myself, oh my gosh, and I was left alone to heal instead of getting the help that I needed. Oh my gosh, Maddie, I'm so sorry to hear that. And yes, Danielle, join the community. I'm the same money situation as your past self was. What is your advice? Definitely, first piece of advice, as Maddie said, join the community. Link is in my bio. All of my coaching material is there. Hang on, let me go back, because I just skipped over Maddie, and then I'm going to come back to you, Danielle. So you were left alone to heal instead of getting the help that you needed. It's interesting that you say that, Maddie, because my husband says that a lot. So my husband has fought with depression. There have been thoughts of that in his mind. He says it sometimes when he gets really desperate, that he will do that. And I see the desperation in him sometimes. And it's interesting that you say that, because he says one of the reasons that it got so bad is because when he was a kid, he felt like nobody ever tried to help him. People just avoided him. Like, they were like, look, you're too depressing, you're too annoying, you're too, like, just go away, get out. So, and to put a little bit of context around it, my husband's mum was 19 when she had him. She had 4 kids. So by the age of 24, she had 4 kids, right? She was very young. She didn't know what she was doing. She's a little bit silly. And as an adult, she's still a little bit silly. So I have no idea how she did that with 4 kids. And I can very much see how, if one of those 4 kids was depressed and, down all the time and moping around, that she wouldn't want to deal with that, and she would prefer to just go lock him in a room and be like, stop annoying us, stop depressing everybody, just go over there, be quiet. And he says that's one of the main reasons that that made it get really bad for him, because he felt like he had no help, he had no support. And it's also interesting that you say that, because I do it to him as well. So this does not feel good to say, but I like to present an honest view of myself, even when it's not nice to hear and even when it doesn't feel good to say. I do that with him as well, because I like to cultivate an attitude of positivity. I like to be happy. I like to choose joy. And sometimes when he's depressed, like he's at the moment. So I was talking earlier about how this morning my dogs weed inside, and he got really annoyed about it, and it's been 4.5 hours and he's still sulking about it now. Like, he's taken himself to bed really depressed and annoyed because the dogs had a wee this morning. I chose to just clean up the wee and carry on with my day. He chose to spend the whole morning being upset about it. And I leave him to it, because when I'm around that, it kind of drags me down as well. So I choose to let him go sit in the room by himself. And so, yeah, like, I'm getting feelings about that now, Maddie. And about how the person that I want to be is a loving wife. The person that I want to be is a partner who is there when I'm needed, and I'm not being that. So thank you for bringing that to my attention, Maddie, and I'm really sorry that you didn't get the help that you needed. I'm really happy that you are seeking that help now, by joining my community, by joining the other community that we were in. I can see that you're seeking help, and I don't know how past it you are now, like if it's still fresh or if you're over it by now. But you're obviously taking steps in that direction, and so I'm really proud of you. And yeah, and I thank you for bringing that to my awareness, because now when I finish this live, I'm going to go and give him a hug instead of ignoring him like I would have done. Right, so Danielle, where was yours? Right, money situation. What is my advice? Okay, Danielle, here is my advice for money situation. If you don't have income, you don't have enough income, or you want more income, do not go looking for it in all the ways you've looked for it in the past. Don't try and think yourself out of the situation. Don't try and come up with a genius plan. Don't try and look for anything that will do just to make money. Don't do those things, okay? You've tried those things before. One, if not all, I'm sure. Do this. Do what feels good. Do what feels good. And keep doing what feels good until it starts making money for you. Maddie, this is relevant for you as well. Do what feels good and keep doing it until you get paid for it. Now, there are some caveats to this, okay? Because I want to make money from coaching, right? That is my purpose in life. I know it to be true. However, at the moment, I am not making enough money from coaching to pay all of my bills. And so for some time, I thought that it's okay, I'm just going to stick with the coaching. And I was turning away other opportunities. That was dumb. Other opportunities have come to me that also feel good, and they're not coaching. However, I'm not making enough money from coaching to support myself, and I don't want to be in a desperate situation again. So I'm saying yes to other opportunities that also feel good to me, and maybe they're not coaching. In fact, the project that I'm working on right now is not coaching. It's I'm working on a project for the US government. So it's in alignment for me because I want to move to the US. So working on a project for the US government is a great win for me. It will help me with my visa application when it comes to it. Okay? However, the work is not what I had in mind. It's not coaching. It is something that I enjoy. I'm playing around in Excel. I'm attending meetings, meeting new people. Like 50% of my new job is just attending meetings where I don't even really need to say anything. So that's pretty cool. I just kind of sit there for half an hour to an hour and get paid for that. And then the other half of it is utilizing skills that I have, making sense of data in Excel, which is something that I very much enjoy doing. It's what I studied at university. It's what I enjoyed most about my project before. So even though it's not like 100% in alignment, it's not coaching. It's something that I enjoy, and it's something that feels good, okay? So previously, I had shut myself off to all opportunities that weren't coaching. That did not work out well for me. Now I'm saying yes to all opportunities that feel good, whatever they are. And I also do that, so the project that I'm working on is a 2-year project. It started before I started. It started in January. So the project is, where are we? June? 5 months in. So I can work on it for the next year and a half if I want. If my coaching takes off and I start earning enough from coaching to support my entire existence, I will do that. And potentially when I move to Bahia, when we're running retreats every month and Airbnb out the rooms the rest of the time, maybe I'll be making enough money from that I don't need to do this as well. But it's all about where are you now and where do you want to go? So that was a really long way of saying do things that feel good to you. Don't do things just to make money. Don't do things out of a state of desperation. If an opportunity comes to you and it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Even if it's like, but this is the only thing I can do right now, this is the only opportunity I have right. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Because what you'll do is you'll shut yourself off from other opportunities by saying yes to the one that doesn't feel good. Like, you've got to have some guts about you to do this. Don't get me wrong, but this is where emotional intelligence comes in. This is where controlling your reality, controlling your vibrations, controlling your positivity comes into it. Because if you can do that, if you can stay positive and stay in a positive mindset of this is all going to work out, the perfect opportunity is coming my way, then it will. And I had, there's a guy that usually joins my live. It's weird, he's not here. He's usually here every day, called Jason. And he was applying for jobs. He needed to start a job on like the 1st of June. And it was like 2-3 weeks until the 1st of June. And he was freaking out. He was losing his shit. He had applied for several jobs. There was one that he really, really wanted and he hadn't heard back. And he was on here every day like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I'm stressing out. And every day I was just like, stay positive, because either you're going to get the job and you're going to start by June 1st and it's going to be fine, or you're not going to get the job and that job wasn't meant for you and you're going to get a different job, because you're always going to be fine. Like, you've got to keep that in the back of your mind all the time. If you want to cultivate a positive attitude, if you want to keep your vibration high, if you want to use the law of attraction to attract good things into your life, you have to keep in mind all the time that whatever's going on is for your highest and best good, and that it's all gonna be fine. And so coming out of my 2-year situation, not only did I find my purpose, not only did I start earning money in a way that felt good to me, not only did I solve all of the shit that we were going through with visas and relationship problems as well. Like, imagine like trying to navigate this situation as a partnership, like when the husband can't get work either. Like we had a lot of fights. And like raise a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old through all this as well. But now that everything's fine, I can look back on that and just be like, it all happened for my own good, because I needed to go through that deepest, darkest time of my life in order to come out the other side of it and help other people who are going through that deepest, darkest time of their life that emulates mine, right? I had to go through all that. And I'm so grateful that I did. Anthony, aren't you doing reviews on stocks? Yes, I am. So this is another project that I work on. I write stock review pieces every week. The owner of the company, so I'm the executive director of the company, but the owner of the company has decided he wants to change what he's doing, because it's not getting. He wanted people to subscribe to my pieces on Substack for like $20 a month. But he doesn't post my articles when I write them. So when he posts them, they're usually like a week out of date by the time he gets to it. And so it's not getting good results for him. He's not getting subscribers. So he wants to change the way that we're doing it. I actually was supposed to have a meeting with him on Sunday, but I was really hungover, so I didn't. So thanks for that reminder, Anthony. I'm going to reach out to him 2 days late. And set up that meeting, see what he wants. Oh my God, that water is disgusting. Ugh. Danielle, I can be useful in so many ways, but I do not have the mindset. I do have the knowledge, but I don't have the mindset. Knowledge is great, but knowledge is literally like 5%. I'm trying to think if there's any discipline in which this is not true, but I can't think of any. Knowledge is only like 5%. Mindset is like the other 95%. So work on your mindset, Danielle. It's really important. Mindset will get you anywhere in life. And it's literally true. Like, I've got 5 minutes left. I can't go into all of the science behind how it works, but the more you look into like the quantum realm, quantum physics, the more you read about the field and about how thoughts create your emotions, which create your feelings, which create your reality, the more you look into it, the more compelling it is, the evidence that suggests that your mindset is literally, and I'm not using that word as a throwaway word, like it's literally, yeah. No, it is literally, in the true sense of the word, creating your reality. Your mindset is creating your reality. And that's what emotional intelligence is. Your emotional intelligence is mindset, right? It's the way that you control your mind to control your reality. And like, because I know you heard my whole story before about the 2 years, right? Just check out the difference. So my mindset was, it's going to work out. It's going to be fine. I'm going to keep doing what feels good. And I know that's going to work out for me in the best possible way. And now I'm living my dream life. Okay? Well, even more so in 2 months when I moved to Bahia. If I had not had the mindset, if I had not had the emotional intelligence, I would have given up. I would have given up. Because that situation was impossible. No, it was impossible. I would have flown back to England and gone to my mum's house and said, I give up. I can't make this work, Mum. I'm 40 years old and I need you to bail me out. And she couldn't bail me out because, like, I did borrow a lot of money from her. In fact, I took most of her retirement savings to supplement our income because we didn't have any. Like, that's how we got through most of the 2 years, by me taking my mum's retired. She has a very low pension. It's like £30 a month or something. No, £30 a week or something ridiculous. And I was taking money from her to pay my bills, right? Which I do not feel good about still. I still owe her a lot of money. But it's okay because now I'm going to pay her back. But that would have gotten worse, right? I would have gone home. I would have given up. My marriage probably wouldn't have survived because my husband can't go back to the UK. We would have had to separate. My kids would have only had one parent, whether they'd stayed in Brazil or came with me to the UK. They would have been down a parent. Like, and ultimately I would have gone back to finance. I would have gone back to a job I hated, working 90 hours a week, doing something that I didn't enjoy, commuting. Like, my mom lives 2.5 hours from London, so I would have been commuting 5 hours per day to get to work in London. Like, if I had given up, that's what I would be doing right now. So this is like the protein bottle. Oh, as you can see, it hasn't been washed. And it was sealed. So the water is in here and it just, like, I'm really thirsty, but I just can't. Let me go get some more water. Let me tip this water down the sink. Hi, Charlie. This is, I'm in Goiás, soon to be Bahia. Not Daniel. That water is disgusting. We have to go through fear to have resilience and move forward. Yeah, so, like, this is true. You have to move through fear. And the resilience comes from the courage, right? The resilience comes from, I've done that before, I can do it again. Thanks for being here, Maddie. I appreciate you. And everybody, Maddie's coming on my live on Friday. well, not on my live, I don't know yet. We're going to figure out details, but Maddie and I will be chatting on Friday. Maddie does astrology. Maddie's amazing. So join us on Friday. We'll have Maddie here, or I'll be on hers, or whatever. No, on TikTok it just goes on both of them, right? Yeah, so we'll be together chatting astrology and intuition. So thanks for being here, Maddie. I'm going to shut this down in a second because it is my time to go make lunch for the kiddies. But let me just read through these comments. My dream is to speak like you. Hang around, Vipa Vic. I'm here every day. You can learn to speak like me. I'm in Sierra, Charlie. I don't know where that is. I've not heard of that. Yes, anyway, so I was trying to give an example of how our mindset creates our reality. So I had a positive mindset, it led me to my dream life. If I had had a negative mindset, I would probably be separated, living with my mum, commuting 5 hours to a job I hated right now. That's where a negative mindset will get you. That is where giving up will get you. Giving up is not the same as surrendering. And one last piece of advice before I shut down the live is something that I heard from Bashar, which is wherever you are in life, if you are struggling with something, you can make it instantly easier by turning downstream. This is Bashar's words. So by turning downstream, by going with the flow, whatever you're fighting against, just surrender. Just surrender. Appreciate what you have, appreciate where you are, surrender, and then you will be facing downstream. And when you're facing downstream, the tide will come and pick you up. If you're facing upstream, you're always going to be battling to stay in the same place. So whatever you're fighting against, wherever you're feeling stuck or held back, turn downstream. And another reminder to join my community. The link is in my bio. It's completely free. All of the content there is free. You will find tools that will help you improve your emotional intelligence, that will help you improve your reality, that will change your life. It's all free. It's all there. I'm not gatekeeping this stuff. It is my purpose in life to share this with you. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Oh, Guilherme. Hello, welcome. I am shutting down. Thank you all. Goodbye.